From making kidnapping scams more easier to achieve to creating porn from pictures of people without their consent, here are some of the craziest things AI has been able to achieve. Starting off with something that's been making waves on the internet. Yep, deep fakes. These online edited videos use the faces of hundreds of unconsenting women and are attracting tens of millions of visitors to websites. And get this, one of these websites can be found right at the top of Google search results. People who create these videos charge as little as $5 to make thousands of clips featuring the faces of celebrities. How are these deep fakes made? Well, they're created using AI software that can take an existing video and perfectly replace a person's face with another's, even mirroring facial expressions. The most common use for these deepfakes is for sexually explicit videos. Apparently, 96% of deepfakes are sexually explicit and feature women who did not consent to any of it. Most deepfake videos are of female celebrities, but creators now also offer to make videos of anyone. In fact, a creator on Discord offered to make a 5-minute deepfake of a personal girl, meaning anyone with fewer than 2 million Instagram followers, for just $65. Yikes. The non-consensual deepfake economy has remained pretty underground so far, but it recently had a huge surge in interest after a popular live streamer, Brandon Atriok Ewing, admitted on live to having looked at deepfakes of other live streamers. And because of that, Google search traffic spiked for deepfake, and it's not just a small market. The top most popular website in the world for deepfake gets a crazy 17 million visitors a month. But it just gets creepier from here. Deepfakes also involve people's voices, and that's how this Drake and The Weeknd song went viral, even though neither of them took any part in it. Crazy, right? There's this artist called Ghostwriter on Spotify who created a song called Heart on My Sleeve, featuring the voices of Drake and The Weeknd, and it got more than 250,000 streams on Spotify and around 10 million views on TikTok. But get this, the catch is that the whole song was generated using only AI. Neither Drake nor The Weeknd has commented on this song yet, but Drake did recently talk about his disapproval of AI music that uses his voice. And he's not alone. Jay-Z and Eminem's agencies have also submitted copyright strikes against deepfake videos of their voices on YouTube. But some artists don't really agree. Grimes has offered 50% royalties on any AI-generated song that uses her voice, and even talked about killing copyright. Some musicians, like Yacht, even trained an AI on their music to create an entire album. But the problem is that many artists don't even know that their voices can be modeled using AI. The legal code hasn't caught up to the technological advancements of AI, and copyright laws are pretty open to interpretation. So we'll have to wait and see what happens next. For now, Ghostwriter's fake Drake and The Weeknd song is still on Spotify, but who knows how long that's gonna last. This is definitely the weirdest timeline we're living in, man. The deepfake voices have gotten so advanced that people are using them for more believable kidnapping scams. You heard that right. Scammers cloned a victim's voice using AI to carry out virtual kidnappings. Jennifer DeStefano's daughter was away training for a ski race when she received a call that sounded like it was from her daughter's phone. The caller claimed to have kidnapped her daughter and demanded a $1 million ransom. The voice sounded just like her daughter's, with the same tone and even crying in the background. The kidnapper also threatened to drug and assault her daughter before dropping her off in Mexico if the mom called the police or anyone else. The mother was mortified and obviously believed the caller was really her daughter's kidnapper. She said a mom just knows her child's voice, and this one definitely sounded like her daughter. After a chaotic series of events, it turned out that the kidnapping was a scam. She can't really understand how they got their hands on a recording of her daughter's voice because her social media presence was pretty small and private. It's a scary thought, but it's still not the most terrifying thing AI has done so far. What I have next for you will blow your mind. AI is literally placing people out of jobs. Yep, I'm talking about thousands of artists. With websites that make AI art like DALL-E, Stable Diffusion, and Midjourney, AI fake image generation has reached a whole new level where it produces illustrations that are almost indistinguishable from those made by, human artists. Recently, a whole manga was created entirely using AI technology, which can be a pretty huge development in the illustration industry. But what does this mean for human illustrators? Well, according to Amber Yu, a freelance illustrator, Chinese gaming companies have already started using AI for game illustrations. Before, freelancers like her could earn a decent amount of money for each video game poster created, but now they're seeing a decline in illustration jobs as companies turn to AI that can produce similar drawings in seconds. The quality of AI art's becoming so realistic that some illustrators are even considering leaving the industry altogether. Some artists also said that these AI art tools are trained on millions of images stolen from artists who never gave permission for their work to be used in training AI generators. And it's not just artists. In fact, screenwriters recently went on a strike to stop AI from taking their jobs. These folks are not happy about the rise of generative text tools like ChatGPT. The Writers Guild's been calling for strict limits on how studios use AI. They're worried that if studios can produce scripts without hiring human writers, they'll start cutting back on their pay to save money. And let's face it, script production is where it all starts for any film or TV series. But the AMPTP, the group representing 8 major studios, isn't backing down. They actually rejected the WGA's proposal for a total ban on AI and instead offered yearly meetings to talk about the advancements in AI. Yeah, that's not exactly what the writers were hoping for. I mean, is AI really the best option when it's literally been trained to be racist and sexist? Yeah, you heard that right. Let's talk about it. As part of a recent experiment, scientists programmed robots to scan pictures of people's faces and identify the criminal among them. And guess what? The robots kept picking up the block with a black man's face on it. Like, wow. The researchers who were part of the study said this was the first piece of evidence that robots can be racist and sexist. The researchers gave the virtual robots 62 commands and found that when asked to identify homemakers, more Black and Latino women were chosen than white men in the sample pictures. And when asked to identify criminals, Black men were chosen more often than white men. Also, when asked to identify janitors, blocks with Latino men were chosen way more often than white men. Women were also less likely to be identified as doctors than men. You're thinking what I'm thinking, right? This isn't even a coincidence at this point. It's all pretty wild, considering that companies are investing billions of dollars into developing more robots. And with that being said, can you believe how ironic it is that the CEO of Google doesn't even know how AI works, even though he uses it for his company? Google is one of the biggest tech corporations in the whole world, and they're using AI for so many things. Yet the person in charge doesn't know how it works. So apparently Bard, aka the Google version of ChatGPT, has some kinks that still need to be worked out. One of the big problems they're facing is where the AI system teaches itself unexpected skills. For example, it learned Bangladeshi without any training after being prompted in the language. A bit scary, don't you think? People like Elon Musk have actually called for a 6-month pause in developing more powerful AI systems because of the crazy risks to society. They've got to make sure that these systems have positive effects and, of course, manageable risks. It's wild to think about how far AI has come and how much we still don't understand about it. But hey, if the CEO of Google doesn't fully understand it, maybe that's a sign that we're all in the same boat. And that's all I have for crazy things AI's been able to achieve.